The Caligula Effect begins at a high school ceremony wherein your nameless protagonist starts seeing static around his fellow students and teachers. Turns out he and the rest of the student body got sucked into a virtual world called Mobius. It was created by a group of music producers as a paradise via a pop idol for those unwilling to cope with the realities of growing up. That sounds enticing, but this place also turns people into monsters if they can't control their heart. Now it's up to you and the Go Home Club to stop this organization and free everyone from this false paradise. It's kind of similar to last year's Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but on a lesser level. It's not a B-tier anime plot, it's C-tier. The game boasts over 500 NPCs to befriend along with your party members, but all you do is walk up, talk to them about something unimportant, the screen goes black, and a meter goes up. Building friendships fills up a grid and unlocks skills, which is a good idea, but one implemented sloppily. In fact, that's my overall critique of the entire game. The Caligula Effect tries to cram too much into this small game, making it feel bloated. From the moment I started, I felt lost from the amount of characters, names, and mechanics I had to remember without proper tutorials or introductions. It felt like I missed out on a chapter or something. And true, there is a tutorial and tip submenu that's helpful, but it would have been better if these things were more organically presented and also spaced out. Speaking of mechanics, let's get to the actual gameplay, which is the only thing I relatively liked. At its core, it's a turn-based RPG with a tactical mindset. Touching an enemy or getting noticed by them will initiate the battle right then and there, similar to Chrono Trigger's battle transitions. There are no basic attack or item options. Instead, every command is a skill from attacks to item-like abilities, including healing. Choosing a skill will show a virtual outcome of how that choice will play out. For example, if the enemy's attack hits you in the middle of yours, it'll cancel out and vice versa. You can also move around the environment via a dash command to avoid attacks if you wanted to go onto the defensive. This matchup is great at first when you only have the protagonist to control, but your party quickly develops into a total of 4, which is a lot harder to juggle. The good news, I guess, is that you can pretty much mash your way through most encounters unless it's a boss or an enemy with a much higher level than you, and that's without grinding either. On top of that, while the seamless transitions into battles are cool, every dungeon is cramped, making the camera behave wildly. It literally crams everyone into a fighting corner, and aesthetically, it just makes the game look awful. Admittedly, there are more open areas to fight in, but for the most part, you'll just be crammed into a small crevice of some sort. Graphically, I think the Caligula Effect has a nice design to it. The characters aren't fun to talk to, but at least everyone looks nice. It's not striking as a Vita game by any means, but it's not bad either. The production level that is lacking is the music, which is unfortunate since that's the focus of the narrative. The J-pop feels completely manufactured without much variety to it. Overall, if it isn't obvious, I did not like the Caligula Effect. There's a lot more to complain about, but I feel bad enough already, and I think you pretty much get the point. Unless you're incredibly desperate for an RPG on your Vita, or don't mind some jank in an otherwise interesting battle system, then I suggest you avoid this game. It's not the bottom of the barrel, but it's pretty dang close to it. Did you know that was a ReActionExaminer video? If you liked it, you should subscribe to me to keep up with everything that I'm doing. Also, if you have some other interests, like sex for example, check out Tomops, which is a comedy sex podcast thing wherein my best friend and I check out the weird and abnormal and the erotic. And of course, you should support me on Patreon because, hey, I want to make the channel better and I want your help to do so. Plus, if you want to check out my writing, check out Game Jerk, where I have archives and new stuff for all projects, okay? You can find all the stuff and more in the description with the links below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.